Hey everybody, Chef Stu back in the kitchen again, bringing you another holiday classic recipe, maybe the holiday classic recipe, let's be honest, a roast turkey. So I'm going to be giving you obviously my recipe, my version of this, but there's a lot of areas that you can play with within this recipe, and I'll try my best to explain them as we go along. So I'll start off with my ingredients here. I've got my basic roasting ingredients, my carrots, my celery, and my onion over here. We've also got 3 cloves of garlic, we've got 3 bay leaves, we've got a small bunch of Italian flat leaf parsley, we've got 4 mandarin oranges, we've got a small bunch of thyme, we've got a large stick of rosemary from my garden, and we've got about 1/4 to 1/2 cup, let's call it 1/3 of a cup of butter in there. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna get our herb butter prepared. And our herb butter is obviously gonna get drizzled over top as well as inside the bird. My bird is 13.5 pounds. Obviously, you can adjust the amount if you're doing a 6.5 or 8 pound bird. Obviously, these quantities are gonna be pared down as opposed to a 20-pound bird. You're gonna have to go a little bit heavier on these. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I start off with a Pyrex dish with my butter already in it. That's just gonna get microwaved in a moment. I'm gonna cut my rosemary stalk in half, and I'm gonna peel backwards off the top. So I start down like this, and I pull down just like so. And we're gonna give that just a pretty fine chop. We don't want huge chunks, but I'm also not gonna worry if there's a couple in there that are a little bigger than others. To that, we're gonna add some thyme. And same thing for our Italian parsley. Do it kind of a rough chop through, gets added in. And 1 of our cloves of garlic is gonna go into our herb butter as well. And I wouldn't worry too much about getting it, to a paste level, but just, relatively finely minced. All right, so we've got our butter made, our herb butter made here. And the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna create a bed. This is also gonna be part of our gravy later to come. So what we're gonna do is instead of using a roasting tray, which a lot of people will, we're gonna make our own roasting tray out of vegetables. We're gonna cut our onion, and I am not looking for very fine or meticulous onion cutting here. Like this is completely fine. And we're gonna continue on with our carrots here. Our carrots I've already peeled. That's the most important part because the peel can have a bit of a bitter taste to it. Beyond that, basically just gonna cut these large chunks. Okay, and then our celery. And honestly, I was just about to discard these, but this is a great example of where don't discard anything, honestly. And 1 of our garlic cloves here. I'm just gonna give it a rough slice through. All right, so we've got our roasting bed kind of laid down there. Only things left is to cut our mandarin oranges up. And I'm just gonna roughly cut these in half, obviously. It doesn't really matter if you butcher this a little bit too much, that's totally okay. Now we're gonna stuff our bird. So basically everything that's remaining, our garlic clove, our remaining parsley, our bay leaves, any remaining thyme, I have a little bit chopped from previously, that's all gonna go inside our bird here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift the bird up. Any remaining drippage can go out on the tray. And then I'm gonna put that on top of my vegetables here. So one of the things that a lot of people aren't comfortable with is I'm gonna break the wings here. You can actually hear them breaking and snapping. I'm gonna tuck those back underneath the bird, just like that. It's the easiest way. I've seen people do numerous different ways, but that's the easiest way to not get burnt wingtips. So now it's time for us to stuff our bird. So when I stuff the bird, I never stuff it with stuffing. And the major reason is stuffing, in my opinion, is better cooked on the outside of the bird, usually in its own container. And what I'm doing here is I'm basically adding in all of my ingredients, all the oranges and everything. I'm gonna give the oranges a squeeze while inside of the bird, just to get some of that, some of the juices out. And then in with our rosemary. Garlic clove, again, unpeeled garlic clove, totally fine. We're not gonna be eating that at the end. And then our remaining parsley. And I'm gonna sort of close this up. And if you notice, there is a little skin flap here on the turkey. You'll notice it's been severed right there. So I just tucked my legs right underneath that. There's no reason to need to tie this up any further. And now our bird is ready for the final touch here, which is all of that lovely herb butter right over top. Okay, so our bird is ready to go in the oven. I do not cover it with tin foil. It is left uncovered. The key is to have it at a low temperature. So my oven is preheated to 325 degrees. This size of bird, which like I said is about 13 and a half pounds, is I'm gonna set the timer for 3 hours and 45 minutes and then we're gonna temperature check it. Here we go. Careful of that heat coming out of your oven. All right, we're back. 3 hours and 45 minutes is done. We're getting close to dinner time and we gotta check our turkey. So here we go. Careful of that steam. Ooh la la. That's a beautiful thing right there. So we're gonna temp check this up on top of the stovetop just to be safe. Hey, look at the beautiful color. I did not baste this turkey at all. So I didn't baste it even once as we went along. And where you wanna temp check it is through the thickest part, which is basically here. This is the thickest part here. So you wanna go in close to the bone. And what you're looking for here is 185 degrees for any full poultry, for full chicken, full turkey. There you can see exactly 185 degrees for this full bird. We're going to transfer this over to my cutting board and I'm gonna tent it right now. Okay. Do not throw those lovely juices out. That's what's gonna make my turkey gravy here as well. So to tent your turkey, you wanna take 2 equal lengths of tin foil, fold them together like this, and then just crimp them along one edge. Just like this, roll it over a couple of times like that, and then open it up and that'll stay together. And then you essentially just wanna put it over top of your bird until you're ready to carve it.